Larry, and let me start off with welcoming you to the channel today. We're going to go over a topic today that probably a lot of you have a question on. I know I did. I had to take 3 or 4 CMP exams for benefits from the VA. And I wanted to get a copy of the CMP exam myself so I know where I was at and where I made the mistakes at, if I made any. Right now, we're still in the process of getting results back, so we don't have a copy of the CMP exam yet, but we plan on getting us one as soon as we possibly can. Now, I know there's a release of information form that you got to fill out and submit to the VA, which you've already done that. We'll cover that topic a little bit later on. But again, today, I'm going to share how veterans can get a copy of their compensation and pension exam reports. Now, that's nothing more than a CMP exam, so let's keep it pretty simple. I'll try to use that term more frequently than compensation and pension examination. So CMP exams, compensation and pension exams are medical examinations of a veteran's disability performed by a VA healthcare professional or a VA contracted provider. Now, what they're saying there is they may send you out to OptumServe or VEST or any company similar to that will perform the CMP exam on you. And what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to connect the dots. In other words, if you got out of the military with hearing loss, they're going to send you to a hearing doctor, and you're going to have to take a hearing test. And if, say, for instance, some reason you got tinnitus along with it, that hearing CMP exam is going to also rate you on the tinnitus and the hearing loss all at one time. So that's how that works. VA uses these CMP exams to gather more evidence on a veteran's claim condition before issuing a decision and assigning a rating if the condition is granted. In other words, if they find that it is service-connected or primary or secondary service-connected, they're going to grant you some sort of rating, most likely. I can't guarantee that they'll give you a rating, but most likely, yes, you're going to get some kind of rating granted. With that in mind, CMP exams are used for both confirming or denying service connection or establishing the severity of a veteran's condition. Now, I'll give you a good example of that. Say, for instance, you have hypertension. Now, they use different numbers, and we classify it as stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Now, they may say, diastolic pressure is this, systolic is different. So you may want to refer to online to see what level your hypertension is at, and that's how they determine what they're going to pay you based on a percentage of disability or how it's related to it. A 10% rating is going to get you not a whole lot, maybe around $177, but your blood pressure has to be pretty elevated just to get that 10%. And I think it pays up to 60%. Don't quote me on that, but you can get that information online as well. So those are things you're going to want to look at when you're considering getting a CMP exam. Read up on what the DBQ is going to be on that, and there are topics out there. We'll have a video on DBQs as well if we don't have one now. So it's really important to read a DBQ, and that'll give you some insight on what that CMP examiner is going to ask you and the questions most of the time. Now, I'm going to be putting out a video here in the next couple of weeks that I just got, hammered on a general medical CMP exam. I thought it was for something else, and when I got there, it was totally different. So I'm going to share that information with you, and hopefully you won't get hammered like I did on that one. VA examiner, okay, in order to request a copy of your compensation and pension exam, it's important to know up front that the VA examiner is not going to give you a copy once the exam is over. It's something that they still need to write up and submit to the VA. But once the examination has concluded and the report is with the VA's possession, you can request a copy directly from them. With that in mind, after you receive a copy of your decision, you're entitled to and you should request a copy of that exam or those exams. Now let me see if I missed something here. Stop here. Okay, I'm not sure if I mentioned this. Once your VA CMP examination is complete, the examiner will write up a report, include a review of the exam's findings, any clinical test results, and any relevant medical literature that they may have reviewed to determine the etiology of your condition. So, in plain English, there's something tied to it. Hopefully they'll write it up. To get a copy of the final report, you can either contact your local VA regional office, call VA, or request an appointment to review your file. or if you are represented by a service organization like a VSO or an attorney, you can ask your representative to acquire a copy of that examination for you. Now that's pretty helpful, but you know, if you're paying an attorney to do this crap for you anyway, they might as well give you a copy of it. The reason this is important is because, like we talked about earlier, VA decision makers often place significant weight on these VA examinations. It is going to be the deciding factor in whether or not there's a medical nexus in the case of a service connection, which is real important. I've discussed that in some other videos. And when they're trying to determine how severe your condition is, they're going to use the findings of the exam to weigh it against VA's schedule for rating disabilities. Now, here in the past couple of months, there was a whole lot of changes in the combined ratings and disabilities, so that's something you may want to read up on. I'm going to try to put some more videos out there with the latest updates to help us understand that a little bit more. But right now, you just have to get out there on the internet and va.gov and kind of look at it yourself. With that in mind, it's important for you to review the exam, determine if the results are favorable, and ensure that the exam was filled out completely and thoroughly, and that as far as you are concerned, it reflects the most accurate information possible. If you don't feel that that exam was completed to the best ability, or let's say this, if the exam was completed in your favor and you know there's an issue there that they didn't discuss, appeal that CNP exam. Go back, request a new one. Okay, if you need more information regarding compensation and CNP exams, including tips to make the most of your exam and common mistakes to avoid, man, you should get out there on the internet. And there's a bunch of people passing out information out there, just like I'm doing here in this video. Now, I am no way, no form, no fashion, an attorney, a legal representative. I'm not affiliated with the VA. I'm just an old wore-out old veteran, 65 years old, that's trying to get my CNP exams completed and see where I'm at and what's going to happen, which is pretty soon. I've done completed all my CNP exams. I started out, I had a hearing one. I had tinnitus related to hearing, so that was one thing, which I've been service connected since I got out of the military in 1981. There's hypertension involved. There's PTSD, or you know, a lot of people call it anxiety, depression, insomnia. So those are a few of the devils, the devil with the horns that I'm fighting. And I didn't know I could file for any of this stuff till about back in November, October, November. I didn't know I could be compensated for it, even though it's in my medical records. It's been in my original medical record since I got out of the military. So guys, you know, thumbs up, like and subscribe if you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be putting more out there, especially once I get my results back from the CNP exams I've went to, which is a total of 4. I'm going to share that information with you. Some do's and don'ts, some pluses and minuses, let you know how I came out, where I made my mistakes, what I would do to change them, how I'm going to appeal them if I don't get what I think is fair. But it's really important. We need your help supporting the channel by hitting a thumbs up and like and subscribe, and then playing the video through its entirety, or sending it to your friends, or sharing it with others. It helps me stay motivated, even with the disabilities I have, to try to create more content that will help you in the long run. So guys, watch the video, send it out there, share it with everybody. Even if you're not sitting here, you're drinking a beer, let this video play through its entirety. Like I said, thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Appreciate it.